Welcome back to Find the Juice. This is Teddy Slugger again, and today we're breaking down the NBA Finals between the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And just so you guys know and really start to listen to what I have to say, I have an 11-3 record in playoff series picks this postseason. Now, to get started, in case any of you missed any of these series or any of the games, we'll do a quick series review of the conference finals for both teams. And first, we'll start with the Pacers versus the Knicks. The Pacers and the Knicks faced off in a best-of-7 series, and here's how it unfolded. In Game 1, the Pacers beat the Knicks in New York 138 to 135 in overtime. Aaron Nesmith's historic 6 3-pointers in the fourth quarter alone kept the Pacers alive, leading to a buzzer beater by Tyrese Halliburton. I'm sure you all saw it. He brought back the Reggie Miller choke against the Knicks to force overtime. Now, Game 2, also in New York, the Pacers beat the Knicks 115 to 112, highlighted by Pascal Siakam's 39 points to give the Pacers a 2-0 series lead heading back to Indiana. Now, at this point, everyone is saying series over. Pacers took 2 in New York. There's no way New York can win in Indiana. It's over. Well, guess what? Game 3, yes, it happened. Knicks 106, Pacers 100. Karl Anthony Towns scored 20 of his 24 points in the fourth quarter, leading another Knicks dramatic comeback. And then we go to Game 4, also in Indiana, where the Pacers beat the Knicks 130 to 121. Tyrese Halliburton's triple-double with 0 turnovers was a historic performance to give the Pacers a 3-1 series lead heading back to New York. And now back in New York, the Knicks beat the Pacers again 111 to 94. Jalen Brunson's 32 points helped the Knicks stave off elimination. And finally, Game 6, Pascal Siakam's 31 points and Tyrese Halliburton's clutch fourth quarter performance sealed the series for the Pacers as they won in New York for the third time in the series, 125 to 108. Now, some key performers in this series was who everyone thought was going to win Eastern Conference Finals MVP, Tyrese Halliburton, as he averaged 21 points and 11 assists per game, including a pivotal 11-point fourth quarter in Game 6 to seal the deal. And then you also have the actual Eastern Conference Finals MVP, Pascal Siakam. He delivered consistent scoring, including a 39-point performance in Game 2 and 31 points in the decisive Game 6. Over on the Knicks, you have Karl Anthony Towns, who showcases scoring prowess with multiple 20-plus scoring games. And finally, you had Jalen Brunson, who we saw slowly taper off because of that wear and tear, the minutes played all season, which probably led to Thibodeau being fired today. But he provided leadership and scoring, notably with 36 points in Game 2 and 32 points in Game 5. And finally, the team stats. The Pacers shot 47.5%, while the Knicks shot 45.2% for the series. And from 3, the Pacers also outshot the Knicks, shooting 38.9% from 3, where the Knicks shot 36.7%. Don't forget, we talked about this in our series preview. The Pacers only 12.4 turnovers per game, while the Knicks had 13.1 per game, with the worst ones coming in Game 6, just basically handing over the trip to the finals to the Pacers. Now, the Pacers' efficiency in shooting and ball control were pivotal in this series victory, much like it has been throughout the entire playoffs. Now, quickly, let's break down the Timberwolves versus Thunder series to see who from the West was going to go to the NBA Finals. This series showcased explosive offense and intense competition. Now let's dive into how the Thunder clinched their first NBA Finals appearance since 2012 against the Heatles, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. The Thunder dominated this series, winning 4-1. And here's how each game unfolded. In game 1, the Thunder beat the Timberwolves 118-103. SGA led with 38 points and 8 assists, while Chet added 22 points. The Thunder outscored the Timberwolves 23-5 late in the third quarter, taking a commanding lead. In game 2, it was a much better game. The Thunder beat the Timberwolves 128-126. SGA scored 40 points and Jalen Williams contributed 34 points, leading the Thunder to a crucial victory. In game 3, this is where everyone slightly kind of switched up and got worried. The Timberwolves beat OKC 143-101. Anthony Edwards scored 30 points and he led the Timberwolves to a dominant win and cut the series lead to make it 2-1. Now in game 4, we had another great game. The Thunder 128, Timberwolves 126. SGA, another outstanding game. And if you remember our preview to this series, I told you SGA is a force in isolation, and I predicted he would have a monster series. And if you're listening, you heard a 38, a 40, and another 40, while Jalen Williams had 34 points and helped the Thunder take a 3-1 series lead. And finally, the game the Timberwolves showed no interest in even playing. The Thunder won this game 5 to seal the deal, 124-94. SGA with another great game, 34 points, and the Thunder clinched their spot in the NBA Finals. Some key performers in this series obviously is going to be SGA. Like I warned you, I predicted, however you want to say. He averaged 38.6 points per game and led the Thunder with clutch performances throughout the series. Jalen Williams, who we also pointed out in the preview of this series, saying he needed to turn around his play from what he did against Minnesota during the regular season. Well, he contributed significantly, including 2 34-point games. And Anthony Edwards led the Timberwolves with 30 points in game 3, showcasing his scoring ability basically only in one game because the rest of the series, the Thunder shut him down. Now, the quick statistical breakdown, you see once again the Thunder outperformed the Timberwolves just like the Pacers outperformed the Knicks. The Thunder looked completely dominant in this series, even in those close games. SGA showed why he deserved MVP this season. And now it's time for the NBA Finals preview of the Pacers versus the Thunder. Let's deep dive into this NBA Finals matchup between the hottest team in the NBA right now, the Indiana Pacers, and the MVP-led OKC Thunder. So, what do the Thunder do offensively? The Thunder run the pick and roll on 20% of their possessions, transition offense on 21% of their possessions, and take spot up shots on 24% of their possessions. That is 65% of their total offense. The Thunder were top 10 in the NBA in effectiveness in all 3 aspects of those offenses. OKC also were among the top teams in transition offense in the pick and roll, while taking a massive step back in spot up shooting due to Lou Dort and Cason Wallace's poor shooting performances throughout the entire playoffs. So now that we know that about the OKC Thunder's offense, what do we know about the Pacers defense and how they should fare against that offense? Well, during the regular season, the Pacers were 6th at defending the spot up shot and 7th in defending the pick and roll. But unfortunately, they were 21st in transition defense. Don't worry though, the Pacers are by far the best team at defending transition during their postseason run. Fourth against the pick and roll, but they've taken a massive step back and became fourth worst at defending spot up shooters in the playoffs. So do you think OKC shooters, especially Lou Dort, can turn it around during these NBA finals to take the offensive edge here? Let me know in the comments. Now let's break down the Pacers offense. Obviously, we know they love running in transition, which they did on 20% of their possessions during the regular season. But just like OKC, they also enjoy the pick and roll along with spot up shooting. These plays made up 64% of Indiana's offense. The Pacers were top 10 in the pick and roll and obviously the transition game, but only 17th in spot up shooting. What has helped Indiana make it this far in the playoffs is that they've become the second best spot up shooting team while still being elite at the other two styles of offenses. So can OKC stop Indiana's offense? Let's check that out. Well, I got some bad news for Pacers fans and anybody that wanted to bet on the Pacers in this series. During the regular season, the Thunder ranked top 3 against all 3 of those styles. But were those numbers stacked up against bad teams like Portland, Washington, and others? No, because OKC is also top 5 against all 3 of the Pacers' go-to styles during the playoffs. Some more bad news for Pacers fans, although surprisingly, Indiana has gotten to the free throw line more often than the Thunder this postseason, and both teams do not turn over the ball. The Thunder should have a huge edge on the offensive boards and do a better job at creating turnovers, as they have been one of the best to do so during this entire playoff run. Now, I'm going to do a little thing for you prop bettors out there or just people into what some of these players might do in these playoffs. So I'll give you a couple players from each team that you should be looking out for during these NBA finals. Could be good, it could be bad. We'll see. The first player, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, Pascal Siakam, put up 16.5 points and 9.5 rebounds in his 2 games against the Thunder this year. Look out for his 3-point shooting, as he shot 50% from range and made 3 per game this season while facing OKC. Now, here's a player that needs to step it up against OKC, and that is Tyrese Halliburton. If the Pacers want to have a shot in this series, then Hallie is gonna have to break free of the chains the Thunder have put on him in the regular season. He put up only 11 points and 5.5 assists in their matchups this year while only shooting 44% from the field and 36% from deep. So how about a couple Thunder players? Maybe one that we already talked about. Actually, let's talk about him right now. And that's gonna be Lou Dort. Remember earlier we pointed to Lou Dort and Casey Wallace needing to find their shot to beat the Pacers. Well, what if I told you in 2 games against Indiana this season, Lou Dort averaged 17.5 points and made 4.5 threes per game while shooting 60% from beyond the arc. Don't forget his bread and butter either, which is his defense. He grabbed 6 boards and got 1 steal per game as well. Now let's talk about Jalen Williams. Just like against Minnesota where he struggled during the season, he's going to have to turn it around against Indiana because Jalen Williams struggled in their 2 games against the Pacers. He shot 41.7% from the field and only 25% from beyond the arc while not adding pretty much anything defensively. He averaged literally 0 blocks, 0.0 blocks, 0.0 steals, and only 3 rebounds per game. While during the season, he averaged over 5. He also led OKC in these 2 games in turnovers. But don't worry, Thunder fans. SGA was a stud versus Indiana, putting up 39 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block on tremendous shooting of 55.6% from the field and 63.6%. Yes, 63.6% from deep. Well, everything looks like it's massively favoring OKC. I want to put some respect on Indiana's name here and give them a couple games just because they've been so fun to watch. They've been so efficient and they're just hard to hate. We've seen OKC struggle on the road, especially when they're up in the series against both Memphis and Minnesota. So I think it'll happen again for Indiana. And because of that, I'll take OKC in 6 games. Let me know who you got in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and holler at us on X too. Until next time, peace.